So the David Pakman Show subreddit has really been on fire. I think we have close to 34,000 of our viewers and listeners subscribed. You can find it at davidpakman.com/Reddit, and many interesting discussions happening every day, a few of which I spotted this morning that I wanted to highlight. User Stone500 posted, "My kid's school district in Missouri is closed for the rest of this week due to staffing and attendance issues. I got a letter from the school system. Essentially, there's so many people sick that the school had to close." And this is a really important thing. I know people in these situations as well, where the school is open in principle, but then so many teachers are sick that the school is closed until they can find teachers or teachers can recover from COVID. Even when we have this discussion of should schools be closed or not because of the virus, my preference is for schools to be open. I agree with everybody who says it's better for kids to be in school in person. Who would deny that? The question is, by forcing them open, do you really keep them open? Because if they're open and 15% of the teachers end up having to isolate/quarantine because they're either exposed or catch COVID, and then you just don't have people, you don't have staff, you don't have janitors, whatever, and then you close anyway, what did we really gain by having a couple of chaotic days in school? And I'm hearing from tons of parents who are saying that this exact thing is going on. When people started going back 2 weeks ago, 1 week ago, my thought was, there's no way that this is going to work in any real way. Either you're just going to commit to the schools becoming super spreader nodes, or you'll be open a few days, and if you're actually testing and have some kind of protocol, you'll then just be forced to close. And it's happening just about everywhere. So interesting that a lot of parents in the audience are experiencing that. And again, I think it's better for the schools to be open. We want them open. It seems like it might have made sense to do remote maybe 2-3 weeks. We see the Omicron wave already coming down, and we'll have those numbers for you probably early next week. The numbers are looking better and better. It probably made sense to just do remote for a couple of weeks. Doesn't sound completely crazy or devastating to the students, and it would have prevented this insanity that's going on now. A really very important post from SW Frame, who said, should the Democrats try to get a la carte network TV in order to reduce the impact of Fox News? Fox News is not ad supported, not completely. That's true. They charge the cable networks more than other channels, which means all subscribers indirectly fund the disinformation spewing out of Fox News. Maybe Democrats should get the cable networks to switch to a la carte programs. I have been talking about this for years. A ton of these networks are viable channels through bundling and or through charging really high fees. So when you pay $100 for cable, you may or may not know that certain amounts from that $100 go to specific channels or groups of channels. Do you really think that I'm making this up now? Okay. But do you really think that imagine that there was a bundle that's like Golf 1, 2, and 3, HGTV 1 through 4, and whatever. I don't even know what these channels exist. Imagine that it's like, okay, you got to pay us $7 per subscriber for all 7 of those channels. Imagine that those were separated out, and instead you could pay $1 for each of those channels. Do you think that many people are going to say, I want to pay for HGTV 1, 2, 3, and 4? Of course not. Of course not. And much the same way, if Fox News had a different deal where people could say, I don't want Fox News, and then they can save $3, $4, $5. I don't know what it is. Fox News loses a ton of money, and that's exactly why they don't do it that way. So yes, a la carte cable programming is something I've been talking about for a really long time. It's there with HBO. We know the technology exists. If you don't want HBO, you don't pay for HBO. It's very, very simple. Considered a premium channel. If it were, quite frankly, if it were that way for a lot more channels, all of us would be saving money, and a lot of these channels would go out of business. But yes, that's a very, very good idea. Lastly, a user, Brian CRC, posted, question for Trump rally attendees. The Trump rally started up again over the weekend. Can you name something new you learned for the rally? And of course, from the rally, and of course, the answer is no. Trump has been doing the same stuff at the rallies basically since Election Day, right? Saying I won, and information's coming out very soon, and the real insurrection was January. It was not January. It was November of 2020 and all of this different stuff. They are not there to learn anything new. They are there to participate in the cult of personality. And unless we understand that, it's going to be very difficult to prevent it from happening again. And it is not about what he says. It is not about learning anything. We need to understand these people really for what they are, which is, quite frankly, cult members of a different sort, a political cult. And I think that would be a really interesting question. We've seen people do interviews of Trump supporters at the rallies. It would be great if someone on the way out stopped people and said, what did you learn today that you didn't know before? That would be a treasure trove of fascinating interview material. I encourage someone to do it. I don't want to be caught dead near any of those rallies, particularly because it seems really difficult to leave. There was video from the rally in Florence, Arizona over the weekend of people saying, we're not being allowed to leave. They're saying you need to wait until the full Trump motorcade leaves. And then they were allegedly letting all the vendors leave. And there were people stuck for hours after the rally. Imagine Trump's late to every rally, drones on for 90 to 120 minutes. And then you're not even allowed to leave right away. Insane. I don't want to go. If someone else wants to go and ask these people what they've learned, I totally support it. But I have no interest in being there. Join the discussion at davidpakman.com/Reddit.